Welcome to the Curious Mind of Raquel. I am your favorite mermaid mystic. So, as I was previously talking about in the video, part 1, about manifesting my twin flame in 8 weeks, I wanted to share the circumstances and the experiences that I was going through so that you will understand that circumstances do not matter and that you can manifest anything that you want, and it does not matter what situations are in your environment at that moment, because the universe can work miracles. So let me preface, at this point in time when I began manifesting my twin flame, I had decided that I was divorcing, because now we've left California and we've moved to Oklahoma. So I was there, and this is a few months I've gone on, and I just, moved there, and I'm in my mind though, I'm not telling anyone, but I'm getting up the nerve to try and figure out how I'm going to move away, because I don't want to live in Oklahoma. I don't like it there. I had wanted to stay in California, and that wasn't a possibility. And then, so I began all of these things and thinking and creating all of these things in my mind, in my mind's eye, not saying anything verbally. So what I would do is, now I was married, so I had been married at this point it was 24 years. My oldest son was still on his mission. Carter was on his mission, and he was coming back in a couple of weeks. My middle son, Sawyer, the ones that's passed, he was already living on his own. He had moved out a couple of years prior to that. Brooker, my third son, was, I think he was a junior, or he was about to be a senior in high school. He was going to graduate. And Zoe Kennedy was going to be 16 at this point. This is when I left the marriage and filed for divorce. So, but before all that, this shows you the circumstances it was absolutely crazy. Now, at that time in my mind, I was thinking, I don't want to have anything to do with men. But I would toy around with the notion of, wouldn't that be so great if that person that I loved and that I had, that I would one day be married to, maybe 10 years down the road after, in my mind's eye, I was thinking, when I get divorced, wouldn't that be lovely if I manifested this person that was all of these things, right, that I had told you in the prior video. But nothing other than that. I wasn't thinking anything about that. I was thinking, I only want to get out of this marriage, and I don't want anything to do with men at this point in time. I just want to get rid of this one. You know what I mean? Because I had it up to here. And so I was like, I don't want anything to do with men. But one day in the future, I would love to have that particular person that I had dreamt of. So I would dream about that and fall asleep in the feeling and all of that. But there was nothing else to it. Now, this goes to show you, let me explain something to you. At that particular time, I was working on building my website. I had my website for years, but I was wanting to rebrand, sort of. So this is let me explain to you the caveat of, on the other side of the spectrum of this, is how the universe is working, and I have no clue about it. So I knew that I was planning to divorce, but also at that same time, I was, working on little paintings, selling little paintings, and thinking about all these lovely things that I want to do when my children are out of the house and I'm going to have my career. And I'm thinking, oh, I've supported my husband, so now it's going to be time for me and my career, right? And so I was rebranding, and so I had a Facebook page, the page that you have, but I also had my regular one that was my personal page. And so my ex-husband and I were having a go at each other one night, and I was asking him, do you think that I should change so that I don't have to worry about two things? Do you think that I should change and just only have a fan page and not a personal page on the Facebook? And we got into an argument. And he's like, I don't care what you do. Do it if you want. I don't care. And I'm like, no, but I really want your opinion. So unbeknownst to me, I go and change my Facebook page, my personal one, and I combine it with my fan page, Raquel Carter. Was it Raquel Margaret Carter, I think, or something? I can't remember exactly. Maybe it was Raquel English or Mermaid Junkie or something. I can't remember exactly. Well, what I realized after that is that if you change, you put your personal thing with your fan page, you can't ever go back and change it to a personal page again. You've lost it. Well, I didn't know that. So we're going on about 3 months. And then I'm realizing, oh my good golly, I can't interact with people that are on my fan page the same way that I did with my regular page, which bothered me. So we're going on about 3 months. Well, I did not know who Jeffrey Sean was. I had no clue who he was whatsoever. But because my ex-husband was in entertainment, people knew of him, so they would friend me or follow my fan page just for the sheer fact that I was his wife, okay? So Jeffrey Sean had liked my page and was following my fan page. Well, I still didn't know who he was. And so I don't have my regular page at this time. So everyone that was a regular friend of mine on my personal page went to my fan page. They don't know that this is happening, only I do, okay? So I'm getting distraught about this because I can't interact with people. I've lost all my, the way that the feed comes in. It was just absolutely different. And I was bothered by it. So, like I said, a few months go by, and obviously I remember seeing, because I had this is where I had started my YouTube channel, and I was really into that, at that time. Really into that, and really into my awakening. And I figured I might as well start a YouTube channel because no one will listen to me, and I don't want to go to a therapist. So I'm going to talk and do the video and just become friends with people out there in the universe. You know what I mean? Because I was miserable in my marriage. My husband never talked to me, so I was like, I got to find an outlet, So that's why I started the YouTube channel, in 2014. So we're bringing it up to about 2015. So I'd only had it, 8 months or something like that, my YouTube channel. And I needed a way to have people, I would share my videos on the Facebook page and all of that sort of thing. Well, and I would see Jeffrey Sean, I would recognize the profile picture and remember thinking oh, that chap's really nice. He seems to be really nice. But I would never see loads of him interacting with me or anything of that nature. He would just like a thing, or on occasion say, oh, I really like that video, or something like that, which I never paid much attention to, not to be mean or rude or anything, but I was a married lass. I did a contest because I wanted to get more people on to watch my YouTube channel, because I really started liking it, and it felt really freeing to me because I could talk about whatever I wanted and then put it out into the universe, and it made me feel really super happy. And so one day I wanted to do a little contest, so I knew you had to watch the video, and then I shared it on my fan page, and I said, if you do this, you had to answer a question. So I knew that they had watched the whole entire video, because in order to get the answer, you would have to watch the whole video at that time. Then you would come to the fan page and you would put your answer, and then I would put your name in a little fish's net, and then I was going to have my ex-mate pick the winner. Okay, and it was like a Starbucks gift card for some coffees or something, because it's, the mermaid theme and all of that. Well, still at this time, I had no clue. But I remember writing the name down. Now, mind you, I'm not thinking anything else about this. This is just the circumstances and the sequence of events that will help you to understand. So I remember thinking, oh, all of these people answered the question right. So I put the names in the little net. But I had to write them down on paper, and I put them in the net. And I remember looking at Jeffrey Stafford, and I remember thinking, oh, I kind of hope this lad wins. I don't know why. I was just like, oh, I hope this lad wins. That would be nice. I don't know why. That's just what came up in my mind. So my ex-husband pulls and said, can you pick the winner? Now I've got that video still on my channel, but I think I have it unlisted. And because I don't want my ex on there, you know. It's just my thing. Like, it's my channel and I don't want my ex-husband on there. So anyway, he picks the winner. And it was Jeffrey Stafford. And so I had to contact him on my fan page because I had to get his address so I could send him the gift. And so anyway, I did that, right? Now, that's going to play an integral part in the future of getting his address. Now, all I knew was that, oh, he lives in Tampa, Florida. Now, but that's the only thing that registered to me. I was like, oh, he lives close to Brooksville, which is my hometown. Now, so I send him the gift card probably 2 weeks later. And I felt really bad because I had forgotten to send it out. Like, I had it in the envelope and everything like that, but I forgot to send it. And so I had to message him again because I felt really, really bad because I never ended up sending it. And he was probably thinking, where's the gift card? You didn't send it. Like, he probably could care less at that point. But my thought was, oh my goodness, I sent all of these people and I forgot to send this lad his gift card, which I thought was terrible because I had committed to something. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, I reached back out to him and he's like, oh, no worries. No, not a big deal. That's completely fine. No worries, love. And so nothing was to be said or done after that. Now, in the process of this, let me allow you to understand one other thing. Remember, I told you in the beginning, I said I was very upset and disgruntled about the fact that I did not have my personal page back. So I decided one day, I was like, you know what, after the ex and I had gotten into a big knockdown drag out, I mean, I'm making it sound much worse, but we got into a bit of a confrontation because I had just simply asked him, I said, oh, do you think I should start my personal page again? Because would you mind helping me to gather up all the friends and stuff? Because I really want to have that back again. And we got into an argument because he was like, I'm not helping you do that. You can figure it out yourself. Figure it out yourself, you know? And so I was very upset with him. And he was like, and he said to me, now this is another integral part. He said to me, and furthermore, you're so conceited. All you do is put your own face on there and you're always doing selfies and you're always putting your face on there. It's ridiculous. You're absolutely obsessed with yourself and you're so conceited. Well, not knowing that's what a narcissist does. When they do it, they project themselves onto you. And mind you, the only thing that I said to him was, I am my brand. You're supposed to put yourself out there. But it had such a negative effect on me that night because I was at this point, I was still very much insecure, that when I started, I decided and I said, okay, I'm going to start my own page and I'll do it myself then. You're not going to help me, you know, piss off. I was so freaking mad. I was just like, piss off then. And so I decided to do that. But what I did was I started the page again and I didn't put any pictures of myself as a profile. So there was no pictures. Like if it was a picture, it was of me, like the back of my head or me in a pretty dress, but you only see my arm. My head's always cut off. And I did that because I felt really, really insecure because he made me feel awful about myself, not realizing that was not true at all. And because I'm an artist, of course, I'm going to put really pretty pictures of myself because I am the face of my brand, right? So anyway, what happened was when I did that, you know how you go and it starts suggesting, you know, you're creating this new page and it's personal, and it starts creating this thing of suggestions of who you can be friends with. Well, when I did that, I just started tapping all of these people that were friends of my friends before and my ex-husband and all of that. And I just said, invite or friend request. I just started tapping all these things. Well, I did not know it, but yeah, I tapped Jeffrey Sean and didn't think anything about it. Well, a couple of weeks later, now we're coming around to, this is the 2 months that I'm manifesting him, not realizing what I'm doing in the universe is working in my favor, because I'm not thinking anything about it. I have no clue. I'm just going about and getting upset with my ex-husband, or husband currently at that time, and saying, I just can't wait to divorce you, you prat, you know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking I'm manifesting my twin flame. Well, anyway, 2 weeks go by, and Jeffrey Sean gets the gift card in the mail. So he reaches out to me and says, "Oh, thank you so much. I got your gift card. Thank you so much." And I was like, "Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you so much." And he says, "Oh, by the way," he says, "I got a friend request from you, but I thought we were already friends. Like, what's going on? Because I think you've been hacked. I think your account's been hacked. Because I can't tell if it's you because there's no pictures that I can see of your face." And he says, "Is that you? Is that you? Should I accept it?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely." And he goes, and he says, "Well, you know, I think it's such a shame that you don't have your face on your profile pictures, because I know many of your friends and fans on your fan page really love seeing your pretty pictures and your nice photography. And so I'll go ahead and accept you as a friend now that I know that it is you, Raquel." And I said, "Oh, thank you so much." And I said, "No, the reason is because I thought that maybe I was being inappropriate for not for putting too much of my face on there." And he's like, "Absolutely not. I think it's brilliant that you put your face on there because your photography is lovely." So that sort of gave me the pick me up, you know, kind of bigged me up a little bit, that I should put my face back on there. So I did it, and therefore that was his other way of reaching out and also solidifying to me that I was doing the right thing. Now, I did not know that this was going to lead into becoming, like, talking to Jeffrey. Now, we were just friendly. It was a friendly matter. And he obviously believed in spirituality because he watched my YouTube channel consistently. Now, I always tease because I say, well, he had a crush on me, but I didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just probably what it was. Well, absolutely. It was that he did have a crush on me, but he was very particular and very, very proper. He did not flirt or anything of that nature. So that was also a sign that he was respectful, which I really, really appreciated, because I had always been disrespected in my marriage. So I didn't think anything else about it, that I thought that he was just a friendly lad because he wasn't flirty or anything of that nature. So we had friendly conversations, which was completely platonic and nothing of the sorts that was inappropriate. And so he asked me, then he came on, and I guess it was like, I didn't hear from him for like, I don't know, weeks. It was weeks. And then he pops up again, and he commented on, he was like, "Oh, I see that he had just popped up one day," and this was weeks had gone by, and I hadn't seen him on my fan page or anything like that, no comments or anything. And then he popped up one day on a video on the comment section, said, "Oh, I really enjoyed that video, thanks for sharing," you know, and that was it. And I was like, "Oh, you're welcome." And he sent me a message, a private message on the messenger, and he says, "You know, I watch your videos and everything. Do you believe in twin flames? Do you believe in soulmates?" And I was like, "Oh my goodness, golly, of course I do. I had not talked about it publicly, but I really did believe in that. But I just was, you know, I just hadn't had the nerve to talk about it at that time publicly." But I was like, "Absolutely, I really do. Yeah, absolutely." And so he was like, "You know what's really, really weird?" And I don't know. I mean, you know, you could ask him today if you wanted. Do you want me to bring Jeffrey Sean on the videos? Because we could happily interview him if you want me to, ask him certain questions about like what he was feeling when he was manifesting. I know all of the answers because we've chatted about it individually, and we've chatted about it personally, and like how it all came to be. But it would be fun to share his side of the story with you if you would like me to. I could do that. We could have a video together. but he's a very shy lad. He does not like the spotlight at all. And but anyway, I could maybe manage to wrangle him in. So when he asked me that, he then said, and I said, oh yes, absolutely, I do believe in it, and all of that sort of thing. And so we're just chatting away about spirituality and all of that kind of thing. And then he says, you know, I had a dream about you, and we were walking along the beach, and we had these old-fashioned clothing on, like from like the 1900s, like the late 1800s. And I've got suspenders on, I've got these old clothes on. And he's like, what do you think about reincarnation? Because like literally you were in that dream and we were holding hands and we were together. And see, now he doesn't know, Jeffrey Sean doesn't, he's telling me this, but he doesn't know that I'm planning on divorcing my husband at that moment. I had been planning on it for months and months, but not telling a soul about it. I was just personally manifesting. And so he tells me this, and I'm sitting there thinking, what? I didn't think it was weird or odd, but I'm thinking, how, oh my God, like this is so weird. Like we just had all of these things in common. Like it was like the floodgates of heaven opened up. And I'm sitting there going, how, like I had a dream as well prior to that, and several other dreams. But I could never see a face or anything. I couldn't see a face. And Jeffrey Sean didn't have really many pictures of himself, you know, besides being in high school or something. And I knew he was around my age at that point because I went on and I kind of scurried onto his Facebook page and kind of, you know, did a deep dive just to see. But there wasn't very much stuff I couldn't figure out about him because he'd never posted, still to this day, doesn't really post loads on the social media. So I could only gather certain bits and bobs about him. And I found that very intriguing, that struck me, that how did he have a dream like that too? And I had never told or talked about my dream. And so why were we having the same dream? And he was like, oh, I love the beach. And now see, I've always loved the beach. My ex-husband couldn't stand the beach, never wanted to go to the beach, hated the beach, hated the sun, hated anything about it. And I always wanted to go like beachcomb. I always did it, but I did it on my own because I didn't have a mate to do it with me or friend or anything like that. So then Jeffrey Sean tells me all these different things. So within weeks, within weeks, we're learning all these things about ourselves. He still doesn't know that I'm planning a divorce and that I'm planning to leave the state and get a divorce. And so I'll tell you more of this in the next video, because now we're 20 minutes in again. And so I'm going to have to keep making this part 1, part 2, and part 3, okay? Because it's so pertinent that you get this information, because I want to encourage you that there's nothing that you can't manifest, no matter the circumstances. So I hope that you're deriving benefit, and leave it in the comments if you really would like me to have Jeffrey Sean on one of the videos and talk to him and chat about the different things and experiences that he was experiencing, not being someone that follows the law as strongly as I do, but he still is spiritual. Let me know in the comments if you would like that. So I hope that you derive benefit from this. And as always, I'm most affably yours until my next swim. Cheers, darlings. Toodle pip.